I'm Elaine from O'Connor Electric. Ray's here with me, and today we're going to talk about breakers. Breakers are what you have in your home that's protecting your circuits and the wiring in your home. You'll have a breaker panel either in your basement or your garage or somewhere in the house, and these are the breakers that are in there. Ray, we're going to talk about the different types of breakers that there are.
I'm pretty excited about that because you know I'm a very passionate electrician. Right here we have a Square-D QO. Ooh, yes. This is a very nice breaker. You can tell by the little yellow D with the square around it. And being a QO, that's a manufacturer type. It has a little window, and so when it's in a trip position, it's red, which is very handy. This is the only breaker manufacturer that has that. And so if it is in the middle position, tripped, all breakers in a trip position to be in a middle position or thereabouts, you must turn off completely and then push forward all the way. At that point, that will reset the breaker. Now, Elaine, if the breaker holds at that time, you want to think about what was plugged into that circuit so you don't do that again, because it's protecting the wiring. If you do this and it trips right away, call your local electrician and or fire department. No, just call your local electrician to handle the situation. Now, this is a Square-D QO. Now, they have a lower cost one, works just as well. It's the Homeline version. It's a Square-D Homeline, same breaker, a little more economical, about half the price. Now, both of these have the ampacity. Ampacity is the amps that allow the breaker to protect the wire. This one on the handle has a 20 amp. This one here has a 15 amp. We know this handles less. Now, people want to increase the breaker. I want to put a 20 amp breaker on here so I can get more power out of those outlets. Well, you can only do that if you have the proper size wire. Because if you put a larger breaker in there and the wire is undersized, once again, the red trucks will start rolling to your neighborhood near you. Another manufacturer, which is all good manufacturers, is the Siemens breaker. And right here we have a little GE breaker. The Siemens breaker also has the ampacity, the amp with a breaker on the handle. Now GE did a little different. They have a big number, 20 or 15 or 30 or whatever it is on that being said. Now this one gets really dicey. New houses and bedrooms require arc fault breakers for the bedroom. 2017 expands the power beyond that. Check your local code or local electrician and he'll educate you on that. Arc fault stops from arcing, which protects the house in theory from burning down. It is a good redundant safety, but you still want to have proper wiring in your house. You wouldn't want this breaker just solely protecting old wiring from 1930. That being said, same way, it'll be in a middle position tripped. Now, with these breakers, all breakers, they may let you reset by just putting forward. That is not properly reset. It can cause a nuisance tripping shortly there down the line. So even though it might hold by just pushing forward, all breakers, we push back, let it turn off, we push back on. If it holds, you should be good to go. Once again, if it trips right away, please call your local electrician who's licensed and handle the electrical problem that you have. It's a good thing if it trips because it's trying to protect your house from burning down. So it's inconvenient, it tripped, but it's a lot better than the red trucks rolling to the neighborhood near you.
Okay. And again, as Ray said, that if when you reset a breaker and it does hold, then you might want to consider thinking, what was I using on that circuit that was overloading the circuit, causing the breaker to trip? So there may be no problem, just that you overloaded the circuit. And again, like he said, the circuits are wired. Like a 15 amp breaker is only good for 15 amps. The wiring on that breaker is probably only rated for 15 amps. It could be rated for 20, but probably only rated for 15 amps. If you have a situation where you keep overloading a breaker and you say, well, I'm just going to put a 20 amp in there and then it's going to hold, like Ray said, if you've only got 15 amp rated wire, then you're going to overload the wire, which could cause a problem. So make sure you contact an electrician to make sure you're doing things properly.
Excellent job. She's so smart, isn't she?
Well, we hope that helps you on breaker selections and what we have and how you might be able to reset a breaker if you need to.
You know, Elaine, I'm going to go ahead and stick this Square-D expensive breaker in this Siemens panel. I'm going to take a hammer and pound it in. Is that a good idea?
That is not a good idea.
A bigger hammer.
No, not bigger hammer. They're not interchangeable, Ray, so you can't do that. So you need to make sure you size, like we were saying, the breakers for the right size. He talked about Homeline and Square-D. Those two also, you want to match the proper breaker to the panel that you have. Thanks, and have a good day.
Have a blessed day.